ever would be. It's cooler than Antarctica's weather would be. Damn, I think my swagger is a weapon to me. And dudes don't count you off the record to me. So don't be stepping to me, trying to shake my hand. I'm already the man, ain't trying to make your band. I feel the fact that I'm real just make them mad. I be smoking helium to inflate my swerve. I'm fact that I'm real just make them mad. I be smoking helium to inflate my swerve. I'm fly, yes, I'm high, yes. Every lady wanna get to this guy, yes. Go out tonight, I just might, yes. Style cleaner than yours, so don't buy, yes. I'm so debonair, so debonair. 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 You're not really seeing me, dawg. Real talk. You feeling whacker than you ever would be. In mind, you think you.
Hey, what's going on, everybody, and welcome back to my channel. Guys, I wasn't actually expecting to go back live again, but I did see that with this story, we need to talk about it. We're talking about Tyree Nichols, and the body cam footage has been released, and let's go over it together. And I want to talk about some things when it comes to this. When it comes to Black people, I'll say Black people dealing with police officers. And the fact that these cops that did this to him was Black, it speaks even more volumes for me. So let's go ahead and take care of the business of this channel real quick. If you want to join my tribe, please stand by my side. Go ahead and subscribe. Turn on your notifications. Make sure you turn them on all so you get notified every time I go live. Like the video, share the video, comment in the comment section to get me back into the algorithm. Let's play the intro, y'all, and then let's get into this. Let's go.
I'm fly, yes, I'm high, yes. Every day wanna get to this guy, yes. Go out tonight, I just might, yes. Style cleaner than yours, so don't buy, yes. I'm so debonair, so debonair. I'm so debonair, so debonair. I'm so debonair, so debonair. I'm so debonair, so debonair.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? I am back. This isn't a happy live, but I do think that we should talk about it. And I'm trying to type in something really quick so that I want to show everything. I want you guys to see this. I want to talk about this because I've experienced, okay, yeah, I got it. I've experienced some things with cops, which is why I don't trust them. I just don't. And I'll talk about it during this live. I want to share my screen for people who don't know what's been happening so that we have a backstory. Okay, let's see it. It says January 7th, a traffic stop with fatal consequences. On January 7th, at approximately 8:30 p.m., officers pulled over a vehicle for suspected reckless driving, according to a statement from Memphis police. A confrontation occurred between officers and the vehicle's driver, later identified as Nicols, who then fled on foot, according to Memphis police. Officers apprehended him and another confrontation occurred, resulting in Nichols' arrest, police said. An ambulance was called to the scene of the arrest after Nichols complained of shortness of breath. Police said, and he was transported to a nearby hospital in critical condition. On January 10th, 3 days after the stop, the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation announced Nichols had died due to injuries sustained in the use of force incident with officers, according to a statement. And I just want to stop there. This is the basis of the story. And hello to Silver Diamond and Mary Broussard. Yeah, this is sad. This is sad. 150 pounds, 5-1. So the body cam footage was released tonight, and I want to play it on my channel. Of course, guys, this is definitely a trigger warning. I don't want anyone to be triggered by this. So if you are, I'm just letting you know before we play the video that this is a trigger warning. And hey, so what's going on? Just simply. All right, so let me pull up the video. And there's no audio to this, guys. But I just want to show this, all right? This is so sad and it's so sick. It's two officers on top of him. It doesn't look like he's resisting.
So I'm being told by our producers, again, we're watching this in real time, that there is no audio on this, but you do not need to listen to this because what we are seeing here is kick after kick. It looks like in the direction.
And why are they kicking him? You know, and these are black guys. These are black cops. Just so we are very clear, these are black cops. And hey, by the way, this is very painful, but you know, we got to watch it. And I hope that this spreads around the world so that people understand what it's like to be a black man or a black woman or even a person of color when it comes to dealing with police officers. This is the kind of that happens. And there's other things that happen that damage your life. And we'll go on from there.
Of Tyree Nichols' head. I was just at that intersection earlier tonight, and believe it or not, it is 3 houses away from where Tyree Nichols' parents live. He was running in the direction of his parents.
Mind y'all, he's not even moving. He's literally like laying on the ground while they're shifting his body around. They done kicked probably the life out of him at this point. But let's keep going.
House. This overhead camera here, it's called Sky Cop, and they're all.
It looks like they're pulling him up by his hair. He's not moving. He's not moving at all.
Around, and it looks like an officer here has a baton.
So, and now the officer is beating with a baton. Like, for what is the reason for this? Why did you feel that you had to beat him with a baton to probably basically a lifeless body? Why?
Looks like they're holding him up.
That's the 3rd strike.
Oh, man. The family described this video. They are literally holding him up. Oh.
They're holding him up.
There's some violent punches being thrown. He's literally.
They're holding this black boy's body up and beating the life out of him. And like, no one thought to stop, you know. This speaks to the anger of the people who work in your police force in your local areas, and why when people were so upset about defunding the police, this is why. This is why. And I'm gonna get into a story later after this about, you know, even if you don't die in the situation, you don't get locked up in a situation, how it still is effectful for your life. Yes, 150 pounds. Remember that, y'all. 5 big body black cops did this to this little black boy that's 150 pounds. And I'm going to talk about why I think that we're going to get into it. We're going to get into it.
Literally being held up and beaten with a baton and fists right to the face. I can count 4 officers on the scene right here. He does not appear at all to be resisting arrest. In fact, he appears.
He can't resist arrest because he's probably lifeless at this point. How can you resist arrest when you can't even, you can't, He already the ambulance was called because he couldn't even breathe, and now y'all like beating the shit out of him. What did you want him to do? I mean, what did you think he was going to do? But let's keep going.
To be lifeless at this point. An officer now on top of him, on his back, it appears.
Why are they on his back? He's not a threat. There's nothing he can do because he's literally declining from life while they're on his back.
Looks like another responding unit is in the area. Again, this is 3 houses away from where his parents live. We cannot escape that fact.
And that makes it even worse. 3 houses down from your parents' house. So you know where he was going, trying to get home to where he felt safe at. Because these black cops ain't going to save you. When they put that uniform on, it's over. Their skin color to them don't exist until they get pulled over or their kid gets pulled over. But let's keep going.
This video coming from a camera they call SkyCop here in Memphis. It's attached to an electricity pole right above the neighborhood where his parents.
He just kicked this boy again. Like, what are you kicking him for? Why did you just kick this guy? Nothing was happening that you needed. Like, what? Let's just keep going, y'all. I want to get to the whole video so we can talk about this.
It looked like another officer just came in and now kickstart once again. I have 2 Memphis City Council members with me here that have joined Top Story tonight. I thank you for your time, and I know it's not easy to come and speak on a live broadcast like this as we're watching this video in real time. How disappointing is this?
Yeah, it's very disappointing. I need to hear what he's going to say. It's very disappointing. And I think as a black man or as a black person to see this, it's disappointing to watch. They are beating this man like he is like tearing them apart, like he has a weapon or something. What was the boy's name who shot at the black people in the church when they got him Burger King? Oh, this boy, he ain't gonna make it to Burger King because it's these cops here. But I want to talk about black cops and why I don't trust them. I don't trust no cops. But
it's hard to put words to it, but the lack of regard for humanity and sanctity of life. These are the men and women that are entrusted to protect our community, and they're well trained, and they exercise incredibly poor judgment.
Are they well trained? And if they're well trained, what are they well trained in? Because it's not about the justice of the people. It's not about, helping the civilians. Clearly, I mean, we're watching this live. It's not about that. So what are they well trained in? I would love to know that. What's the training?
That would be an understatement.
I think what is the evidence that is, at least at this part, that you just cannot dispute is that he was being held up and he was being hit with both a baton and fists.
Yes.
They're trained in techniques time and time again in order to get a suspect to comply.
What are the techniques that they are trained to get? Because we see this over and over and over and over again, where the techniques, whatever they're learning, they're not doing it unless this is what the training is like. I would love to know what the training looks like when it comes to arresting a black person. Because what it looks like for white people and black people, for what we see on the news, it doesn't look like there's a training that actually keeps the person that they're arresting safe. And, you know, I understand there's some people who resist, people who have guns and other things. But when it comes to a situation like this, where the boy's just running away, I mean, again, I don't understand. Should he be running away? No. But does it result in death? I'm confused. Let me read some comments real quick. I'd like to know how they treat their mothers, fathers, brothers, sisters, and wives. I would love to know that too. That's why he was screaming for his mama, just like George Floyd, in which we know. Why isn't the person recording calling for help? I think that there was someone in the house with them that was. This was a sky, like a helicopter camera. So I think this was a person like recording. This is from like a sky cap or a helicopter recording. 150 pounds. Yes, again, that's not well trained at all. Unless the training is this is how you treat a black person that you're going to arrest for a traffic stop, because that's what he was arrested for, right? Reckless driving. This is how this works. We're going to keep moving on. Well trained in revoking civil rights and constitutional rights. I can see that. Definitely not what it looks like for a white person. Absolutely not. And he may have ran because he knew what their police officers were like. And that's another thing, because they were saying that the people that the Memphis police officers don't have a good reputation. Give me one. Let's get back into this video. That's the city camera set up to help cops, but end up catching cops doing crime and get away with it, unless you black. But we're gonna talk about that. So let's get back into the video.
And ultimately, what's so disappointing is that this was an alleged reckless driving charge in which somebody feared him for their life and ran, and they could have ended there. They had possession of his vehicle, and the entire incident, if you talk to a trained veteran, would have told you, we've got the car, we can find the suspect later, there's no need to chase him down.
I think at this point, this is the point where both the Nichols family and their attorneys are saying first aid was not rendered. He's been beaten to a pulp from what we've seen on these cameras, clearly, with batons, with fists, with brutal kicks to the head. And now he's being held up.
And y'all heard the newscaster say it, beat him to a pulp. So we're not making this up that this man was brutally beaten. Like they said, he was beaten to a pulp. He was beaten to death. But, you know, let's call it what it is.
And no first aid is being rendered at this point. He can't even stand up. Look, he just slumped over.
That's the hard part, is officers on both.
They're literally dragging him. Excuse me, y'all. God, excuse me. They're dragging a dead body into the back of a police car. But we're supposed to trust you. We're supposed to trust these people, right?
Sides that are
they're literally dragging his body into the police car.
So they'll prop him up here and wait for supporting units, a supervisor, and eventually.
So that's the video. Let's remove this and let's have a conversation. I mention this a lot. I don't trust cops at all. I really don't. I've been in like maybe 3 bad situations with cops. Luckily, I'm allowed to tell a story, and that's just honest. And thank you, Mary. Thank you. And Vicky Black, he was. We just watched it. I don't trust cops, and I'll tell you guys why, and then I'm gonna get back into this story. In high school, my cousin went to his prom. His date couldn't go to the after party, which was at like Magic Mountain. but he had a limo. And so we ended up going to Magic. He asked me to go with him, so we got fun, whatever, that night. And we did, and we had a good night. But before we walked in, two cops came to the limo and said that we were drinking. Now, y'all, at the time, I was so anti-smoking, drinking, everything. Like, I used to flush my grandfather's cigarettes in the toilet. And drinking was just like, no one in my family ever drank. So I never, drink wasn't a thing. I think my dad drank like beer or something, but even if he did, it wasn't around me. So, but they pulled us out of the car. They gave us a breathalyzer and everything. And that was my first experience with a cop. I was like, well, where does that come from? And I'm glad that my cousin said something, because at the time I was younger than him. So I didn't know that it was wrong that they did that. I'm just like, maybe somebody was drinking and they pulled us over. But I realized it was because we were black, because they were pulling over every black person that came over there to Magic Mountain that night. The second time is that I did with this is that so in 2016 I was a Lyft driver because I was working temp jobs and I had to pay my bills. So I was driving Lyft like every day till they cut me off. They give you like a 6-hour break where you have to rest or whatever, but I would literally be driving like every hour on the hour. And I used to sleep in like parking lots, like Walmart parking lots, gas station parking lots, all this stuff, because I want to be in spaces where people need to ride so I can like make my money. And one day I woke up, there was a cop in my window. I wasn't even parked by where this was at, but there was somebody ran into a gas station, and it was reported that I did it. But I'm like, I'm literally parked at a gas station, at the gas pump, because I knew I needed to get gas. But I went to the gas pump, I went to sleep, and because I guess I was parked, I don't know what happened, but they arrested me that day. So I'm like, I know I didn't run into no gas station. I ended up getting out of, they arrested me. I went to jail. And when I got out of jail, they showed me, I wanted to get my car. My car has no dents in it at all. It's just, they showed me pictures of debris of the building on my car. And I'm like, well, I mean, if somebody hit it, then there would be debris if it was, because it's going to fly around. Not a scratch or a dent on my car at all. And I took pictures of it, but I think in the midst of me going to court, I lost my phone and I didn't have the pictures anymore. I sent it to my ex, but he didn't have them either. But I ended up going to court, and this is how bad that the justice system is to me. I had a lady attorney who was like, she was fighting for me because there was no evidence of anything. She seen the pictures of my car, and they kept saying that they had video of me hitting the building. And so she was like, there's no video, it's just audio of the gas station owner calling the cops. And so I'm like, if they have video, I want to see it because I know I did not hit this building. So she was fighting and fighting and fighting for me. So when I finally got to go to court, they took her off my case and gave me this guy. And y'all, this man was shucking and jiving all over the damn place. I mean, he basically told me I didn't have a chance in hell. And even he was like, well, there's a DVD with the videos of you hitting the building. So I said, well, let me see. I'm waiting to see this. So he put the DVD in, and all it is audio of the gas station worker calling, or I think the owner calling the cops. He never gives a description of the car. All he knows is that somebody hit his building and it knocked all of the stuff on his wall off the shelf. So I'm like, if I was a driver, my car would be dented up. That's obvious. So the attorney that I got was like, well, the judge is really mad because he has a daughter who died from drunk driving. And I said, I wasn't drinking and driving. And the reason why I know I didn't drink and drive was because I had met this guy, and literally the day after that I was supposed to go with him out of town to meet his daughter. And my best friend, I did meet him. I meet up with him, and I told him, I was like, I can't drink with you tonight because I gotta be up early in the morning. I'm about to drive tonight for Lyft, so I can't. So everything, like, I had all my stuff together, but because the judge was mad, I got to suffer through that. And so they made me plead guilty for it. So I want to go through this because, first of all, I want to talk about the guys. Let me pull their pictures up. But I want to talk about why I don't like cops personally. And that's not my only story, but I'm going to tell the other one after I do this part. These are the faces of the black men who ended this young man's life. Not one, but two, not one, not two, not three, not four, but 5 black men ended another black boy's life over a reckless driving situation. And you think to yourself, we wanted black people to get into this field so that we would be protected. But this doesn't look like protection. Is this showing? I can't. It's not showing here. My mouse ain't showing, but this first black guy doesn't show protection. The second one doesn't. The third one doesn't. The fourth one doesn't. And the fifth one doesn't. And the reason why is because these are the black people that was in slavery who was telling on us. Don't tell them the other black people during slavery. They want to be so accepted and get in with the good old boys, which they will never, ever do, because now they're going to sit in jail. But they will never do. And they look like this. Now, one thing I want to say is that I think it's very interesting that when white people kill us, we don't see this. When white people arrest us and brutally do the things that they do to us, we don't see this. We don't. So for the 0.5% of the sorrowness I have for these black men, I don't for the rest of the percentage, because y'all trying so hard to be in with the good old boys, and now look at you. All in jail, where they want to put you anyway. And you helped them put other black people in jail, and now look where you at. All looking stupid. They all look dumb in these pictures. Look dumb. And yes, Otes, thank you for joining us from Facebook. It is so sad. Y'all can also join my Facebook as well. It's SoDebNair. It's SoDebNair. Check me out over there as well. It's the same content, but all the subscriptions make the difference. But they look dumb. All this over reckless driving, but they have anger issues. A lot of cops do. It's not just these black guys. A lot of them have anger issues. That's why they become cops, because they were bullied in high school and through grade school, and they want something to make them feel like a man, or make them feel better or bigger than. And so they become cops, and then they treat people bad. They unnecessarily unalive this man. Unnecessarily. And the sad part is, it's 5 black men. But black cops don't care. And I'm going to tell y'all this story. Let me move this down. Oops. I'm gonna tell you this story. One night I went out with my best friend. We went out to a bar here in Atlanta, and my phone came up missing. I had a red cardigan. I love that cardigan. My phone was in the pocket of the cardigan. I looked around for my cardigan and my phone. Couldn't find it anywhere. The guy who stole my phone went to the police officer and told them that I stole his phone. They didn't ask no questions. They didn't even check the phone to see who can log in, who can't log out. You know what they did? They kicked me out of the bar. And I said, fine, but I need my phone back so that I can Uber home, even because my best friend wasn't in the back with me. They was like, if you leave the premises, then we're going to arrest you. I said, I can't leave because the guy has my phone. Letting them know, like, look, I didn't steal anything. He has my phone. Check the screensaver. My face is on it. They would never check it. So I'm walking. Finally, I guess they got mad. And two black cops, it was a man and a woman, black, walking behind me, grabbing my both arms, and they start pushing me towards the police car. And I'm like, I was leaving the premises. They was like, well, you can't because you have your phone. I'm like, well, if you don't have my phone, then why are you arresting me? Why are you pushing me? I'm like, check my pockets. There's no phone here. My friend is inside. Either I need to talk to him or I need my phone back. Y'all, they took me to this police car. And I thought they were just taking me to like the curb, but they took me to the police car and was pushing me into this car. And I kept standing up. And today I feel like I'm glad that I'm still alive to tell the story. But they kept pushing me in the car. I kept standing up like, no, like I'm trying to leave. Y'all won't let me leave. So they handcuffed me and they took me to jail. They said, you have one phone call. How can I call anybody when I don't have my phone? This is a real story. How can I call someone when I don't have my phone? No place I can call my mother who doesn't even live here. They never cared. So I'm telling you the effed up part about this story. So I think a month later, I went to this thing called House in the Park. I didn't remember the guy's face who arrested me, but he remembered mine. He immediately came up to me and apologized to me about that day. And I told him, and I said, like, to be honest, like, I don't give a damn about your apology. Because if you know you were wrong, then why did you say something then? Don't apologize to me afterwards. Apologize to me and stop this shit that's happening now. Nothing. I'll see him at another event. More apologies. And I'm like, yo, my best friend was like, get the fuck away from him, please. Because this ain't a thing. And nobody's about to fight you over this. Like, just get away. You did what you did. You can't fix it. Go. These people want to be so accepted. These black people who are cops want to be so accepted. I have a friend who's a cop in Chicago. Can't be friends with him because he loves to argue down about the rights of cops and things like this. I'm like, y'all are literally killing us every day. It's not just the white people. It's the black ones too. And when Black Lives Matter came out, I'm like, I hope that y'all know that it's not just the white ones. It's the black ones too. And if you don't know, look at them. Because there's 5 of them right here doing it. 5. Over a boy who was 150 pounds. You're supposed to be here to protect and serve the community, not get your vendetta off on other people. And until cops understand that, and I understand there are some good cops out there, but when 5 black cops do this to a 150-pound boy, it's hard to believe. When we watch Sandra Bland and Trayvon Martin and all the other people who have died and gotten no justice, it's hard to understand. Okay? This is why I don't trust them. And I'm gonna tell y'all this, to this day, I don't drive a car because of I won't get behind the wheel. Because that's the fastest way to get pulled over and for something to happen to you. I will not drive a car because of this. It comes in all shades of colors. So, you know, I hate that this happened to this young man. I hate it. But I also hate this. Because why? You try to get down with the good old boys and look where you at. They don't go to jail when they do it to us. You should be in there to make sure that we are safe, not to get in good with them so you can be cool with them. Protect your community, not your fellow terrorist. Because this is what you look like. This is where you're going to end up at. You don't have the complexion for the protection. And it's sad and it's sick. If any of you guys who watch this and you have children, teach them. Because I can tell you right now, as a school teacher, I see a lot of my kids in bad positions because they don't know how to respect adults. So when you get into the real world and you meet these guys, what do you think your kid's going to do? It's not a suspension. You go to jail if you stay alive. So teach your children accordingly when it comes to authority in their lives. And it starts with your school teachers. I don't want to see another story like this. I don't. This is sad and it's sick. And I feel bad for all 5 of these imbeciles because y'all want to finish so bad and thought, hey, you know, my other counterparts get away with it. Maybe I will too. And guess what? Jail, 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 jail. That's what you're going to get. That's what you get. You're not white. You don't have the complexion for the protection. And when y'all realize this, all the black people that are in the police force, because they let their people go when it comes down to reckless driving or a speeding ticket. They let them go. It's not worth it. There's real criminals out in the world. But what y'all do is y'all trying to finish so damn bad and then look at you. Jail, 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 jail. Sad. I'm not sad for you. It's sad for you, but I'm not sad for you. And if they lock all of them up, all the black cops, lock them up because they're not helping us at all. This is another form of slavery where you a house ninja and trying to watch all the field ninjas. But when you mess up, guess what? They treat you just like the field ninjas. Jail, 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 jail. Goodbye. And I'm not sorry for you. Find somebody else to do it. It ain't me. Okay. Let me read some of these comments. Praying for all the males plus Nicholas and Crohn's disease. All of them. What's going on, Chris Maxwell? All of them 90s babies. Shake my head. Exactly. I've seen 3 different videos. See, I seen this one. I wish I would have seen all of them. Come on, SoDeb, speak the whole truth. It's the truth. And I don't care if nobody sees it, but the 70 people that's in here, spread this around, because I'm telling you right now, I got rid of a friend who was a cop because he made excuse after excuse after excuse about cops. And I'm like, I can't be your friend. I can't. Won't be surprised if one of them, me either. Because now they understand what they were working for will never happen. Spend your time in jail, sir. They could have given a warning or exactly. Why did he run? You watched the footage. I could do it. I just played it. Protect my energy. It's hard to raise a black man these days. You're teaching them to be strong black men, but then again, you have to teach them to be basically submissive to police officers at the same time. And you know what? My question is this: what is a strong black man? A lot of black men are so untouched with their emotions, and they're so bummed down because they have to be this hard ass man that they go to do this. They don't have the education or the mental capacity to have empathy or sympathy for anybody. That's why you watch a lot of us as gay men go through this thing where they can't deal with us because we soft. So that's why most of the gay people are not in jail, because we are in touch with our emotions and our empathy and sympathy, and they can't do it. And I'm not saying that about you, Mary. I'm just saying growing up as a black man is very hard to have emotions or anything, because you got to be a man. And what a man is some hard ass brick who don't have no emotional feeling, no nothing, who has sex with women, make children, and is a worker who's like a machine. I don't want to be one. I want to be in touch with my emotions. I cry. I talk about my feelings. I do all that stuff because, and I can't live my life that way. I want to be like this, trying to be a cop who brutalizes and unalives a young black man because I can't express my feelings. I'm so angry inside that I take it out on somebody who don't even deserve it. I don't want to be like this. And you shouldn't want your sons to be like this, your nephews, your uncles, your daddies, or any other men in your life, your boyfriends, your husbands, your ex, whatever they are. None of them. This is sick. And then they got duped because they thought they was a part of the good old boys. And guess what? Now the good old boys will treat them like they treat the rest of the black folks that sit up in them jail cells. Sad. So sad. Do you think they'll get more time than Siobhan George was? I don't know. I doubt it. But we're going to see. Let's see how it plays out. I hope they get all the time, though, so they understand, so that the other black people that's in the police force understand those white folks ain't on your side. And when you think they are, when you get in trouble, you'll look just like this. Mug shots. I seen it on you now. Okay, I'll check it out. My son quit the force after seeing how. See, I have a friend. Well, I don't call him my friend because I stopped dealing with him. But he doesn't get it, and I can't deal with ignorance. And the fact that there's an ignorant black person on a police force in Chicago for me says a lot. And I know that that's what he is, because he doesn't understand the fact that police are corrupt and they don't care about black people, whether you are on the force or off the force. As soon as you get in trouble, you're going to look just like this. Look at it. I hope the black cops come over and look at it. It's what you're going to look like. A protector, a provider. For my spirit, I can't sit and watch another young black man lose his life senselessly. So many people are desensitized. They watch and keep scrolling. This is real. Watching our babies dying. But you also have to look at the fact that, you know, the black babies is killing the black babies, you know. They helping the white babies kill the black babies. So we got to look at it, you know. To me, I think that our justice system has to be really looked at. If us as black people are ever going to be protected. I'm sure somebody's already said this, but I don't know who said it, but I'm going to say it for my own self. This justice system is not there for us. It's not. It's literally not at all. It's there to transport us from freedom back into slavery. And I'm gonna tell y'all this, and I hate that I'm about to even say this. Give me 1 second. I need to blow my nose. Give me 1 second, y'all. We need to look at something because there's no justice in this justice system for us as black people. And again, I know that people have said this before, but I'm just going to say it for my own damn self. We don't have the rights to make mistakes in life. We don't have the financial situation that other people have in life. We literally work ourselves to death. Literally, like we have to work up until death. A lot of us. Something has to be done for us. And I think we just kind of got, as black people, we got maybe like, I hate to say the word weak, but I want to say the word weak. Because our ancestors fought for freedom. And then at a certain point that we seen a little bit of freedom, we kind of just got comfortable in that space. We're not free. The jails are full of us. I mean, the fact that they had to make a law to legalize marijuana so they could free some of the black folks tells it in itself. White folks out there selling stuff way worse than we. I knew a mayor. I mean, I knew a son of a mayor. The son grew dro in his house. And he was steady arresting black boys for selling weed. So you can't tell me about no cops for me. I don't trust them. I don't believe in them. I'd rather fend for my damn self. Silver Diamond says, I think they will throw the book at them, even if only because they are black. I want to make an example out of them. I'm down for it. Let them. Let them throw all the books at them. Throw rocks at them, motherfuckers. Okay. Throw big ass Kelly Price at them for all I can. Throw everything, whatever you can find. Throw it at them. Thank you, Mary. They reverse Roe versus Wade, and the next thing is going to be reversing our foot. Yep, that's gonna be hard. You're right. All skin folks ain't kin folks, and they're not. Look at them. Look at them. They get that badge and think they part of the crew. Then they find out that they just got moved from being a field to a house. Exactly. If you ain't never said nothing right, you said it today. People think that people don't believe in me when I'm saying this, but I don't trust them. And whatever I can do to not be involved with them, I do it. I won't drive. I will not drive. Hey, Jennifer. I'm just popping in to send big hugs to all of you. I am just sick after watching the video, so I cannot imagine how it affects you. Love you so, Deb. Thank you so much, Jennifer. The jails have more of us that did less. Exactly, they do. Again, the white boy who shot the black people in that black church, they would have got him Burger King. I mean, it was like, well done, you know. What you want before you go? Imagine how he was treated in the jails by the cops. They're like, you got more of these niggas off the streets or out of that period. Don't they? They'll build more prisons? Yeah, they will. There is a corrupted prison in Jordan. Well, it's in like Clayton County here in Atlanta, in Georgia. Yes, you're right, Mary and do F. Yep. Right. So Deb, yeah. I wish there was more people here to see this because I'm telling y'all, my experiences with cops have never, ever. I have the part that pisses me off the most is that I was a flight attendant, and you cannot have a DUI and be a flight attendant because in Canada they will arrest you on site if you go in there. For some reason, the airlines will not put you in Canada. It never made sense to me. But they won't let you be a flight attendant if you have that, unless you're like not an international airline. But I just gave up on it because I'm like, this is weird to me. Like, I don't have a say so because the judge is mad. And then, you watch all these cases about all this stuff. I remember there was a guy when I was driving Uber, not Uber, Lyft. I couldn't drive Uber because of my DUI. But there was an attorney that I had met. I wish I would have got his information because he was telling me that I can get all that taken care of. And I think I got his number, but I lost it in my car after that. But it was just, I was pissed off about that. But y'all, if y'all have children, please, for my black people, because we see it all the time, and I have a lot of videos that I'm about to do on this channel about wrongful pullovers and cops coming to people's houses and these Karens that I've been recording for like the last 2 months. Because I want people to see what it looks like and why this is so wrong. I pray for all y'all sons and daughters, because it's not just the black men. You should be able to do an expungement. Well, I can do one, but I think the years that it takes is like I think it's like 13 years, and with Canada you can't have one within 10 years. So regardless, I'm gonna be 40 next year. Like, excuse me. I'm not about to be a flight attendant at 45. I'm too tired now to be one. So, but I shouldn't have to have one. That's what I'm saying. Thank you, Mary, and thank you, Silver Diamond. I shouldn't have to get an expungement. Thank you for taking my energy. Because I wasn't drunk. They couldn't find out who did it. They blamed it on me. And I fought that for like almost 2 years because the court they kept pushing it back. And because the lady that I was working with, she was on their asses. And then here comes this man a black man, and he had all the fixes, just plead guilty because the judge is mad. Where's the lady that I was working with? Because I don't want you. These black people that are in the justice system are out for themselves. And we need to, if y'all have children, raise them up to be, if they go into the justice system, to be right people. It can get costly. It was very costly. But I have it, and I got that in 2016. So I think 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. I got 4 more years. So at 43, if I want to apply to be a flight attendant again, I'm not being a flight attendant no 43. I'm gonna just count it as a loss. I was a flight attendant before. I enjoyed it, but I mean, 43, no. That means I have to work for the rest of my life. And that's starting a new career at 43. So that's all that I have for you guys. I do want to drop the link because I feel like I do want to hear what you guys think about this. I know that people I don't know why people don't want to come up on lives with me, but I really want to hear your guys' opinion on this. Let me take this down. Because I know that you guys have children and family members. Like, I want to hear y'all's opinion. So I'll give it like till, because I'm at 56 minutes, so I'll give it to 60 minutes. If nobody comes up, then I'll go ahead and end the live. While we wait, though, y'all, like, seriously, just protect yourselves when you're out. Don't argue with these freaking cops, whether they black or they white, because you don't know who's on your side. All right, you give people a little power. Yeah. You don't know who's on your side. And the last thing you need to do is like lose your life trying to like not go to jail. And I guess I can just imagine, like, I mean, at that point, you thinking like, whether I'm gonna lose my life living in jail or lose it like I'm just not here anymore. And people probably really reevaluate that. Like, I don't want to be in jail. Jail is nowhere you want to be. It's nowhere you want to be. Hey.
Hey, what's up, Debonair?
What's
Can
going
you hear
on?
me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, make sure to take my AirPods out this time. Okay, so first of all, that was the first time that I had ever seen the whole video. I think I caught like a little snippet of it before. Oh my God, my blood pressure.
Yeah.
I was like, I couldn't. I was trying to find the why. I'm like, he had to have done something. Like, I have to excuse this away somehow because it makes absolutely no sense. It's absurd. It's very difficult to watch. And it just seemed so pointless. It was just like they didn't even care about his life. Like, it was crazy. So it got me to thinking. I used to be in the military a long time ago. And I remember when I first joined, we went to Iraq. There was some issues there. And some of the guys were getting into trouble. And I'm like, it just seemed, again, disregard for human life. Right. And I'm like, what is going on? And they said, well, sometimes you have to make split decisions, and it's very difficult, and you don't know what's going to happen, and you just feel like it's you or them because of the position you're in, and you don't know. And then other times people just go too far. They just go too far. They cannot stop themselves. And then they're around other people who go too far. And then there's always one person who it's like egging everybody on, like, you better do it. You better do it like the rest of us. And there's that one person who's just trying to survive, Right. And it's like, at what point is it that for any of them, if it is?
Right.
And then I started thinking about how I knew some people who are cops, and how cops, some of them have the highest incidences of domestic violence, divorce, and a lot of those things. So it got me to thinking that, along with what happened back then with the cops that I knew, because the black people were the worst to them,
Mm,
and and in the military too. I was just like, when people are in extremely negative environments on a daily basis, rationality is out the window.
right.
It's gone. You have to rotate these people so that they're not in this negative environment. When
Right.
people are constantly in negative environments, a white cop in a black neighborhood, they're like, oh my God, these black people. Oh, this is horrible. When it's black people in a black neighborhood, you think they're going to excuse, certain behavior. They don't want to come to work and be annoyed. They're going to say this is abhorrent. Black people are like this. I knew cops that were black, and they just talk so horribly about black people.
Yeah.
Black people do this and then this and then this. And it's not that, they know themselves they're black, but it's just like, but I'm different. And you keep committing crimes, They didn't have the ability to really rationalize the fact that, yeah, it's just you're in a crime-ridden neighborhood. And
Right.
that's something you just have to face on a daily basis. And this is how it's going to be. And every day you have to be rational and go into it and, of course, stay safe, but also be rational and be objective. And that's difficult for some people to do because they become then blinded by their own anger, blinded by irrationality, blinded by paranoia, blinded by the fact that they no longer even themselves know how to function as a person, and they think that they are functioning very well when they need therapy
Yeah.
because of the environment. If we say that people who commit crimes or do horrendous things are sometimes their situation is brought on by their environment, well, same can be said for those who enter in that environment who haven't grown up in it. I didn't grow up in the environment that I saw when I was in the military, and I was like, oh my God, I don't think I can function in this dysfunction. Like,
Mm,
these people are dysfunctional. And it was like, people are doing some abhorrent things. They're all unholy. People getting syphilis. They're joining gang. I met a guy who joined a gang. Why would you join a gang in the military? You were in
right.
reserves. You just have got married, had a baby. You joined a gang, and then he died because he died during initiation. It's like, it's crazy. And so much goes on, but these people, they need therapy and they need to be
They do.
rotated out of this crap.
Can I tell you something that I see at my school now that it drives me nuts. And because I've been to jail before, I know this is prison. It's like preparing
The
you for
prison to
prison.
school pipeline. Yes,
Yes.
very well.
They make the kids walk in like the blue lines along the walls.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, this was like in jail.
Yeah.
And this is so inappropriate to me. And I want to say something so bad. But I just feel like I don't want to I feel like I'm gonna say something this week now because I feel like I should. But I feel like it's preparing for prison, or jail or going to jail. Follow directions like this because they're like, when I say this, you gotta do this. And it's like to me, it's like prepare the kids for something else besides like following directions in this way.
Right.
There's
Well, I
there's
mean, it's like
different
that for the
there's,
curriculum too, is it not? If we do math differently and arrive at the same answers, you're wrong because you didn't do it the way I did it and the way I told
right,
you to do it,
right.
which, is counterintuitive, but that's kind of how it is. And it just doesn't make any sense. And we need to get back to things that make sense.
Right. Real quick, what's going on, Cindy C and French Q?
Hey, how are you?
I am good. I haven't seen you in so
I
long.
know, I know, I know. And our basketball wives is starting soon, so
Yes.
I'm waiting to hear from you. But I just wanted to hop on. I won't stay too long because Drag Race is on, so it's
Okay.
it's my show. I know it's not your show, but it's my show.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to tell a couple of quick stories. with my experience on why I also am not a fan of the police. I recall I was in junior high school. There was a young couple that looked like they were in high school, because they were definitely older than me, but I knew that they were young, like teenagers. They weren't
Mhm.
grown. Black couple. This guy was beating the crap out of her. They were together.
Mhm.
She tried to get out of the car right in front of my house, and like he was dragging her back by her hair. It was just ridiculous. I called the police, you know.
Mhm.
Um, my mom wasn't home. I called the police, and they, you know, I was yelling out, I'm a kid, you know, but I was still me, just little, you know.
Mhm.
I'm not going to back down for anybody. And so I yell out my bedroom window, I called the police. And the girl turned around and was like, no, 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 I'm fine, I'm fine. And he's like, you know, get in the car, like yelling at her to get in the car. They take off. A couple of minutes later, the police show up, and you know, I come down, I'm in my PJs, I'm a kid, you know, in junior high. And so they were like, somebody called. I said, yeah, he just took off down the street. And they were just like, get in the car, get in the car, I'm a child.
You told
They
you to
could
get
have,
in the car?
yes, so that I could describe the car to them. You're the police. Like, and
Wow.
I'm a child. I could have been, they could have killed me. They could have,
Yeah.
you know, word me. They could have done anything. I was scared to death. Like, because
Wow.
I was taught to listen to the police, right?
Mhm.
I'm in my pajamas, and I'm like a clearly not dressed, and a child. Why would you take, even if I did point out the car, it was parked around the corner,
Mhm.
but it was just kind of like, why would you put a child in a potentially dangerous situation? So from then
Right.
on, I obviously didn't trust the police, you know.
Right.
My mom, you know, sued the heck out of them, but you know, she came home and she was like, what, you did what? And she
That's
was like, why'd
crazy.
you, right? She was like, why'd you get in the car? I said, it was the police. And
Right.
they're screaming at me. I had never experienced anything like that in my life. And then the second story, you know, really quickly, is that, um, you know, now I'm grown. I'm in my early 20s. A friend of mine started dating this cop. He was like the weirdest, angriest person in the world.
Mhm.
He clearly, to me, was reading dangerous. There's something wrong. Too many red flags. He was obsessed with her for years. Like, she had to move. She moved out of the state to get away from this guy, a cop.
Mhm.
You
Mhm.
know, and they need to get regular mental psych evals, in my opinion. I feel like, you know, what you said, a lot of what you said earlier was that, you know, that they're taking their aggressions out because they can't be
They're
emotional.
most of them are like people who have been bullied through life.
Right.
They want this so that this what is it what's the word I'm looking for? It's this
Validation,
confirmation that they're not weak. This
confirmation. Yeah, absolutely.
confirmation that they're not weak.
And
And
that's
so
what
they
this
join the
guy
police
was.
force. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and he was actually an attractive guy, a tall guy, but emotionally you can tell that he had anger issues, right? And
Yeah.
I just feel like what you said, that really was the gem of the night for me, which
Mhm.
was he what probably wasn't allowed to express his emotions other than anger. And I think that's true for a lot of officers, even the female cops that I've encountered throughout the years, you know. I feel like
The
they're
lady,
too aggressive.
I'll tell you, there was a lady when I got arrested at the bar that I was at. There was a guy named the lady. The lady,
Uh,
she was the one who kept pushing me to the car.
wow,
And I kept
see?
standing up. I was handcuffed. I kept standing. I'm like, I'm trying to go home. They
Right.
wouldn't listen to me.
And
And,
I
and
think
I'll tell
that
you, and I'll
it's
tell you
just
this, Cindy, it pissed me off so bad when the guy apologized to me.
right.
I'm like, y'all booked me. Like my
But I mean,
fingerprints is in the
think about
system.
it. So, Deb, you could have died, and no apology, no
Yeah.
arrest could have been made. So at
No,
least give
and
an
I understand that, but
apology.
I'm just saying, like, the fact that you're apologizing to me, like, I'm in the system because of you again. Like
Right, right,
that
right.
either way, it's bad for me.
Yeah.
whether I'm alive or I'm not alive, or I'm still alive. You fingerprinted me and sent me to jail for something that I didn't even do. So that stays, that doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah, absolutely. So anyway, those were my two stories. I
Yeah,
just, I mean, and I think we should also teach our kids, younger, because who would think that a young Black girl would have to have that story? I shouldn't even have that story. And my
right.
mom was absolutely appalled. This is also
That's
my
shocking.
father. My father, yes, my father was murdered. So
Wow.
I'm just kind of like, I don't trust them for so many different reasons, but to put me in a potentially, life-threatening situation, was insane. And I can't imagine them yelling at a white kid to do the same thing.
At
So,
all. Yeah, me
at
either.
all.
No.
Anyway, have a good night. I'm
Thank you,
showing my
Cindy.
support. Night, everyone.
And I'll hit you up on Instagram so we can talk about basketball wives when it our show.
Okay, sounds good.
All right.
Okay,
All right.
night, guys.
All right. Good night.
Good night.
Hey, is it French Q?
It's French Quee,
Quee. Okay. Sorry for
but my
messing
real
it up.
name is Jaquise.
Okay. Sorry for messing it up.
Oh no, that's fine. That's fine.
They be calling me SoDebNair. I'm like, it's SoDebNair, but I got it.
Uh-huh. I
What's
got
going
it.
on?
My heart goes out to the family. And I was just sitting here because I was waiting for you to come on.
Mhm.
And I was sitting here, I said, you know what, let me view these videos. I wasn't gonna do it, but I said I prayed about it first,
Mhm.
and I viewed it. And it showed me 3 different angles of the videos.
Yeah.
And one, like I said in the chat, there is a camera that's supposed to be a community camera
Mhm.
that's sitting up high on the top light post,
Mhm.
shows everything.
Mhm.
And I sent it to you through IG. And I'm lost for words right now.
Let's see if I can pull it up. Hold on. Keep talking. I'm gonna see if I can pull it
I'm
up.
lost for words because I'm looking at, like I said, you give people a little power and they just take it all, take it over.
Yeah.
You're supposed to be out here to protect. You out here beating us up. And like you said, it reminds me going back to roots.
I can't play because it's on another YouTube channel, but I do see that you sent what you sent me.
Okay. And I'm just, I'm I don't know what else to say, because right now, like you said, we don't have freedom. You said
Right.
freedom of speech. We don't have that.
Mm-mm.
We don't have anything.
Mm-mm.
I keep hearing people saying, we overpopulated in all these states. And so we got to get rid of so many. Why is that? Did you talk to God about that?
Well, they're getting rid of us, but we're not the overpopulation.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Well, if we're so overpopulated, they wouldn't
Mm-hmm.
be allowing immigrants to come in.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And that
Populate.
and that. Or they wouldn't have, I mean, to be honest, y'all shouldn't have brought us over here.
Well, okay, here's the thing. The baby boomers, they had 6, 12, 10, 11 kids, right?
Mhm.
After there's a bust, a boom, there's a bang. So we have a boom, and then we're going to have a bang. So all these people who had 10, 11, 12, whatever kids, they didn't have as many kids. They had 1, 2, maybe 3 at most. So there's your bang. So the population is decreasing. COVID is really making the population
Oh
across
yeah.
the world decrease, especially in China, India, places where there is a lot of overpopulation. But that's already happening, and they're letting a lot of
But it's
immigrants
overpopulated
come
because they are letting everybody over here. I mean, and to me, there's nothing wrong with that. But I mean, even if it's overpopulated, like most of us, they are incarcerating us. So Black
Oh,
people,
and don't
we're
worry,
definitely
they're
not the
going to be
problem.
letting them out too. They're preparing them, which is why they're allowing a lot of them to get education. Because they said, I watched today where they said there are 7 million able-bodied men of working age, from ages 25 to 55, who are not in the workforce. They just dropped out. They don't get a job. They don't care. After COVID, they was like, I'm good. So that leaves so many gaps. This is why they're allowing immigrants to come in. You're going to start seeing later on, they're going to start releasing people from prison. Mark my words, mark my words. It sounds outrageous and crazy, but they're allowing them to get college educations. They're allowing them to use FAFSA. You're going to start to see them with college education and with education and driving trucks and doing other things. Because if one thing I know about the government is that when they need people, they don't care who you are or where you come from.
I want to start a program for them so they can start their own damn businesses, and not work for them, because that they should have never been there in the first place, and don't let them out because you want them to work for you.
Some of them deserve to be there though. So I
know some of them do, but there's a lot of people who don't.
There's some that don't, especially
Yes.
like
There's a lot who don't deserve to be there.
Then they trump up.
And I hope that they come out and want to be entrepreneurs, because as a Black person, waiting for your 401k for the rest of your life after you work all these years and don't have any time to experience life it's not a life. It's not a life. But send them to college. I hope they all go to school for business and create their own stuff. I would say shit, but create their own stuff, and then don't work for these people, because these are people who incarcerated you.
Well, they won't be working necessarily for the government, but they'll definitely be working for the companies that need.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I meant. Don't work for those companies.
Skills right now, and that's what they're giving some of the people in prison, the skills right now to do the jobs that we need done today, because so many people have dropped out of the workforce too, and I don't know what they're doing, because I was waiting to hear well, what are they doing?
I hope they all come out to be graphic designers, website builders, social media influencers, things that the white man cannot take their money from. Build your own stuff, because to be honest, I'm gonna tell you something that I learned during COVID. We had an opportunity to really elevate during COVID, because we didn't have to go to work. We're still getting paid. Well, some of us was.
And 12 hours a day.
And a lot of people, because I build websites, that's my main business.
Okay.
I didn't suffer through COVID, because Black people were building businesses during COVID.
Mm-hmm.
Most of them don't work a job anymore because they built their business during COVID.
Yeah.
So when people went back to work, they never went back. That's why there's a shortage of teachers right now, call center worker. I mean, everything. There's a lot of shortages because people started business during COVID, and they're doing very well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I hope that they do is put it into a 401k, so they build their retirement plan or save for when they retire.
Yep, I agree. And I can't wait to see what's going to happen in the future, because for our generation, it's just going to be so different. What the prospects and everything is just going to be so different. And getting back to the police. Okay, so that'll be another thing. You're still going to have the police. I know they're saying defund the police, but they don't actually mean take money away from the police, but just change it up. The truth of the matter is that when you have someone, and I just can't help but to say this and continue to reiterate it over and over, when you have someone who is constantly in a negative environment on a daily basis, you're going to have these type of things. When you have someone in a negative environment meeting someone who wants total and all control and think that a gun and a badge gives them that, and you better bow down, to them, it's going to happen. Like, these things just happen. The fact that you're in the military and you're there like police to protect and serve, and you have gangs. Like, what do you have gangs? The fact that you can be a civilian working for the military and you're just trying to move up in your career and keep your head down and keep on moving, and suddenly you have to be initiated into this like the Masons, but I call it the Masons 2.0 because it's like everybody's sleeping with each other. You have to be initiated into that in order to move up in your career. It's absurd. That is absurd. But that's what's happening, and that's what people are doing. And I'm sorry, I made a mistake and pressed the wrong button. I don't understand it, but that's what's happening. And
It's the
it
it's the
happens
it's the
in the
chain it's
police
the chain of
force.
command.
What
It's the chain of command when it comes down to the hierarchy. I can't get the word right now.
but they create a secondary a subset of hierarchies, you
Right,
know, side of the workplace. And
right,
it happens in the police force too.
yeah.
And you know, some police were saying like, well, you know, we kind of have to, you know, be there for each other and all that because people are coming after us,
I'll
which
tell
is
you
true
why.
because there are people who just absolutely hate the police. It was like, you know,
Well,
but
there's police who hate people. So I mean, this
yeah,
it's the same thing. And if the police will be if the police did their real job, they wouldn't have that problem. So that's not a people problem. That's a police problem. And if you join the force and you can't go in and make no change, then don't sign up for it because it won't change anything. And until someone actually sits down with the police force and actually makes a change about how they treat black people, I don't care about anybody else because we are the people who they
they
target.
treat white people
And
like
I'm gonna
that
just be
for
all the way
different
honest.
things.
What'd you say?
But when you have certain KPIs to say, hey, you know, when we send police out there and they're really patrolling the streets and they're getting this money, you know, when they get the tickets, the city gets this money. Well, you know, the city's doing pretty damn good, and the police are doing their job. Actually, we need a raise for them, and then my money now and my bonuses are now tied to what I can bring in for the city from the regular population. What are you going to do? You're going to go out there and you're just going to start taking in everything and everybody, and if you can't because you got quotas to meet now, you're going to start making stuff up. So you're creating it within your incentives.
Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Sorry.
Okay.
I have a 11:22 alarm that goes off my phone. So.
It's supposed to be 11:11, not 11:22.
No, 11:22 is something specific.
But yeah, but you're creating incentives and you're almost incentivizing
Yeah.
doing these types of things. And then on top of that, compounded on top of that, you have people who are constantly negative environment. I'll say it again, that need therapy and need to be rotated out into something and somewhere else because they can't all do desk patrol, desk duty, or whatever it's called. And then you know if you're on desk duty, your career ain't going nowhere.
But I think for me, I feel like if you're gonna be black and going to do into this field of work, you know what we go through as black people. Or maybe you don't. You know, maybe I'm just oblivious to this. Maybe you don't.
No. Well, okay, here's the thing. I'm black all day, every day.
Yeah.
Okay. I have seen and come across some black people where I'm like, where are you from and where did you grow up? Like,
Some black
where's the
people.
mentality? But that's the thing. So if I joined the police force, which I thought about once upon a time after I got out of the military, and then I was like, no, thank you. Had seen people in that capacity, shit, even some of my cousins. I'm like, damn, like what? Are we even related? In how their thought process is and how their mentality is because of how they grew up in their environment and all of that. Sure, I can excuse some of the behavior away. However, when they are looking at me like, and you're a cop, you know, you're not going to be objective and fair or whatever the thing is. I just hate you, period. And I want to hurt you. Then, you know, then I would feel, I would feel, kind of paranoid because I'm like, when I go into that neighborhood, and I probably wouldn't have a
But
great
you have to. But look at the civilian as well, because the same way you feel,
Mm-hmm.
because look at this over here. 5 of these right here. It's
Yeah.
5 at the
Yeah.
same damn time. You know what I'm saying? And for me, when it's happened to me, it's been black people.
Yeah.
In Atlanta, in Ohio was very different, but in Atlanta, it's been black people. And the fact that a cop can apologize to me multiple times and see me out multiple times, for me, it makes me understand that I really don't trust you at all. Because if you believe that you were wrong now, then you knew you were wrong when you did what you did.
Mm-hmm.
So don't apologize. I mean, you can't take with my fingerprints. You can take away the fact that I was in jail for the night that I was in jail. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you should have never said, because I didn't even know what you look like.
Yeah.
Just shut up.
Yeah.
But the fact that you approached me about this, literally what I wanted to do was punch you in your face and leave you laying on the ground and let you suffer through that, as long as I suffer through sitting in jail for no damn reason, you know. But you can't do that. But I think that when it comes down to this, when you are joining the force, like, think about what happens with your own people. Because whether people think, oh, well, just because I'm black, don't mean I have to protect the black community. The white folks do it. All the time they do it. And it's so crazy because that black people, like, they don't want to be like the token black person who comes in and wants to do black rights. No, go in there that way. Because the white folks do it every day.
All day.
And it's weird to me that no black person who has went into this system and protected black people never even thought of this, because you never hear this at all. These white folks, when they kill us, they get up on administrative leave, they go back to work. These men wait, let me pull them back up again. These motherfuckers over here, they going to jail, okay?
As
they
they
going to
should,
jail.
because
All
that
five
was
of them going to
a
jail.
reckless regard for human life.
And
I mean, reckless.
They didn't do anything that was slightly worse than the white folks that got away with murdering black people. Look at the Trayvon Martin situation. What about the?
I think it's different.
Look at Sarah Bryant.
Maybe mute her.
Okay, there you go.
But look at all these situations. It is good.
Oh no, you just have to mute.
Oh no, you just have to mute her.
Yeah, I think it's somebody else.
Is it still doing it?
Nope.
No, it's not doing it now. Okay. But look at all it is. But look at all these situations and how this is working. It's unreal. Wait. Yeah, it's unreal. It's unreal. And I hate to like blame it on everybody else, but that's the reality of what we're dealing with. And it's so sad because, like, black people are like, well, we don't want to blame it on. It's like we are pacifying massa in a different form. The reality is that this is real. They're killing us.
And when I see
They
that,
don't have any respect for our lives or anything. And we have to live our lives every day, driving our cars, going to work, going to the grocery store or whatever. And if Massa decide that, hey, today, SoDeb is the day it's going to be for him, I don't have a choice but to go.
well, how do you think it is for other people in other countries? Like, because I lived in Germany for a long time, and the police there, they could beat your ass.
You know what? As a black man living in America, I don't have the opportunity to even know what it's like for them, because I'm worried about me here in America, where we're supposed to be the land of the free. They're moving here to be free because they're saying that we have the best life, the best place to live at, and we really don't. For if you're white, you do, but everybody else doesn't have that.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. I've lived.
I wish I could know what it's like for other people, but I don't have the opportunity to do that.
And with the German police, I feel like it's partially the slavery thing, but then I also think that partially too, it's a little bit cultural. Because like I said, when I lived other places, they have police there and the police could beat your ass, and I have seen them beat some ass when they've done something that was, a white person to another white person. Mm-hmm. But it was just like, I guess it just gave me like a different kind of thought. So like, I understand what you're saying and I see that too. And I feel that too. But then in the other side of me, it's like, well, you have seen white police beat on white people too. So, and treat them.
It's not, but the problem is
like if they can
the problem is not that white people beat on white people. And this is the thing. That's not the problem. The problem is that if you look at the jail system, they might beat on them, but they still stay alive and they don't go to jail. The prison system shows you the percentage of what happens here.
Right.
We will get arrested for jaywalking and sit in jail. I've seen homeless people where when I went the 2 times that I went to jail, there were homeless people that went there that were black. Ain't seen not one white homeless person. 2 times that I do went, and I'm sure that they do go there. But they were like, you just come here because you want some food and a place to stay. They say that. But why is that? Why do they have to do that to have a place to stay?
Well,
it's not realistic in real life. Like, there's so much money.
Like, there's less value still placed on the life of a colored person.
Absolutely.
So do you feel like you're 3/5 of a person?
I don't feel like I go to work and I come home. I did my little black babies at work, and then I come home to my little black life. That's it. That's it. I used to go out. I used to do a lot of things, but after dealing with the cops here,
it's a different experience for sure.
I don't do it. Yeah.
I mean, I got pulled over.
It's traumatizing. It's to the point of my life where any way I can avoid a cop, I'm going to do it, which means like work, home. Now, I will travel other places, but, it's still like hotel, beach, or something like that. Like, there's not a lot of movement for me because I don't want to get into the mixture of a cop and me.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what type of day you're having, because
exactly.
that decides on how they deal with you. If they're having
and
a bad day, you have a bad day.
Other countries and our countries, our people constantly, whether it's cops, you, me, whatever, in the daily days, we are very much so overworked and, to me, underpaid, but you still can't pay me enough for the amount of time you're taking out of my life. And that's the difference between in some other countries where the cops are there, they do enforce, they do care, but it's just kind of like, okay, but we get to kind of push back and calm down as well. When I lived in Germany, it was just very different. When I got pulled over by the Polizei, I wasn't scared. I wasn't scared. And the Polizei, because the whole German, how they are, they're kind of like scary,
What is that for people who don't know who's watching?
Oh, that's the Polizei is the German police. They're called the Polizei. And but I wasn't afraid. I was just like, like, oh crap, I'm getting pulled over, and I was able to speak German at the time. And and we were able to talk and all that, and he was like, okay, well, you need to slow down, can't be on your phone in Germany, and it was just whatever. And so that happened a couple of times. I had some encounters with the police. I never had any issues. It was a human experience. It was just like with my friend, she was driving, and I was the one who was sober. I should have been driving, but she's like, someone here smells like alcohol. It's one of the two of you. We're talking, and I'm like, this is the craziest thing, because I know if I was in the US, it wouldn't have been which one of you, it would have been like you, like hurling out accusations without causation, you. And so, but it reminded me of when I got pulled over when I was 16. No, I'm sorry, 16. When I was 20, I worked at the postal office, and I was going into work at night. And I was going down this hill in Brecksville, and in Ohio, Brecksville, Ohio, and
what part of Ohio?
Brecksville, Ohio.
I never heard of that part. I'm from Ohio.
It's like near Cleveland.
Okay.
And
I'm from Ohio. I'm from Columbus, so that's what I was asking.
Oh, okay. I'm from Bedford Heights.
I don't even know what that's at.
Yeah.
Bedford Heights.
Bedford Heights. Yeah, the same place.
Never heard that either.
Where Halle Berry's from, where she went to school.
I never heard of that.
So I'm going down this hill, right? I'm driving down this hill. I'm driving fast, but I didn't know I was driving fast. I'm listening to my gospel music. I'm half awake. And the police pulled me over, and he was like, he waited for a little while to come out, and I'm just sitting there. And I had a feeling that something was going to happen. And I told myself, I said, you're tired. You could probably be easily annoyed or angered because of that. No matter what he does, either he going to give you a ticket or he not. Chill out. Just going about your business. And so he came there, license and registration. So I gave him my license registration. He's going on, and then he's like, "You were speeding down the hill. Do you know how fast you were going?" And blah 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 blah. And I said, "You know what? I'm not really sure how fast I was going, and I wasn't really aware that I was speeding." And he was like, "It's late. Where do you think you're going?" "Well, I'm going to work." "No one's going to work at this hour." "You working?" So I'm like, "Okay, yeah, I'm going to work." And, "Well, where do you work?" I said, "You see those lights diagonally across there?" I said, that's where I work." "Well, that's not open." I said, "Yeah, that's the postal annex. The post office never really closes. Mail just keeps on going and going and going." And then he's like, "Oh," and he was so like, this energy that he brought was so angry, like so much anger. And I was like, he's trying to start some shit.
Mhm.
Like, to find a reason to give me a ticket or do something else. I said, "I cannot believe this." And he kept on going and kept on going. And so I just looked at him and I just answered him, "Oh, well, I didn't know." I said, "Well, it's actually kind of good that you stopped me, because I would have gotten there, way too early," which I'm just lying. I'm just trying to see where he's at, what type of time he's on. And he's still angry, talking angrily. Okay, listen here. Either give me a ticket and get out my face, or let me go. Which one is it going to be? So I said, "Are you going to give me a ticket, or, like, let's get to the point of this, because I don't understand what the point is now." And so he let me go, but that showed me like how agitated and how people can just suddenly have a bad day and start some shit with you, you know? And I was like, this is crazy. And I've even had a police woman officer when I was 16 put her hand on a weapon, like she's about to draw her gun.
Mhm.
And I was going to get my my registration out of the vehicle and my insurance, but I wouldn't move. And so the other police officer came, I rolled down my window. He was like, "Get your registration and all this." I said, you know what, I would like to do that, but I'm kind of scared. She has her hand on her gun." "Well, don't mind that. She's supposed to." Okay,
Find that though.
I understand. However,
Right.
we're right in front of my house. I gave you my license. Here's my house. Here's the license. And she's about to draw her gun. Like, I don't want her to think that I'm doing something here that I'm not and get shot.
Right.
"That's not going to happen. That doesn't happen." Yeah, it does.
Yeah, it does. It does. You
And
might
he was
not
over
know it,
there
but
looking
it
like he
does.
was scared. So she the police officer with a gun. What you scared of me for? I'm 16.
Right.
Like, I'm 16. I'm dressed up. I done came from the club. What are you scared of me for? You in
I,
front of my house.
I've made officers pull my own registration out of my glove compartment because I was scared. My hands
Yes.
was on the wheel. I'm like, "Listen, it's in my glove compartment. You can pull it out. My hands are right here." I would not move because I don't trust them.
Like, that's scary. And
Yeah.
that's the thing. The thing is that you don't know who you are encountering, what
Right.
type of day they have, what type of
Right.
therapy is needed, what their childhood was like,
Right.
whatever baggage they're carrying. And then you have to kind of, like, de-escalate it when they're
Right.
supposed to de-escalate.
Right.
But most often I find that many of them escalate the issue.
They
Like,
do. That's what happens.
that is crazy.
We literally watched it with all these cases with like Sandra Bland, Trayvon Martin, this boy that we talking about today, what's his name? Trey. Yeah, Trey Nichols. Um, there's other people I can't think of right now because I've been drinking, but there's been a lot of people that we've watched this happen with where you don't know what's going to happen. And I would say sober or not sober, you don't know. And
Yeah.
as a Black person in America, it's just not a thing that you want to jeopardize yourself with. But when they start handcuffing you and that nigga's in that back, you know, like, it's fight or flight.
And I always think,
And I
like,
don't think that cops understand that part. And I hope a cop watches this to understand what it's like when it comes down to this. Who actually cares about our lives? Because most of them know what they're doing. But
yeah,
for the little people who do care about it, once that knee gets to that back, you know what it is. Your life is not valuable anymore.
exactly. Always
And
know.
whether you go
Persevering.
unalive or alive, you're going with them. And then they're
Mhm.
gonna make up some damn story about how they didn't know and all this stuff. None of it makes sense. But if you're in a good police force who like you, you'll get off.
Yeah.
It's unfair, and it shows you that our lives don't really matter. And so that's why when they are talking about white lives matter and black lives matter, well, I get why they're saying black lives matter, because for us they do matter. We want the cops to understand that they matter, but they don't, because now they want to know that blue lives matter, and white lives matter, and green lives, and yellow, green, whoever, purple lives matter. Everybody's lives gotta matter, but the fact that y'all are killing us.
And no one should die because of a
No one.
job.
I don't care what
No
color that it is, but the
that
cops should have never made blue
police
lives matter, because
or
y'all not in jeopardy of your lives. Y'all are jeopardizing our lives.
yeah. Well, a traffic stop, they say it's domestic violence, and a traffic stop, they say, are the most dangerous because you don't know what you're walking into. True. But it's also dangerous for the other person. But you can exercise good judgment. I don't know the particulars of this
Well,
particular.
that's
I know that
for me that depends, because if I'm running away from you, I'm not jeopardizing your life.
right.
So
Running
I
with
don't know why that's justified at all. And most of the things that we've been seeing for the people
well,
who
because
have
in the
died
beginning,
by the
when
hands of
they
cops
stop, they don't
have been
know.
running away, not towards them.
Right, exactly. And that's my thing. No one should die. At the end of the day, this was a traffic stop. This was
Yeah.
a traffic stop. Yeah, the guy ran. I don't know all the particulars. They ran. He ran, and they caught up with them. And then you beat him silly? Like, what were you thinking?
They thought they was gonna go back to work, and the good old boys would be like, "You did your thing," because that's what they do. I'm telling you, I don't trust no
Or did
damn
they think they were
cops.
about to hit early retirement too?
Well, they have a quota every month,
That's crazy. I'm
so
sorry.
all of it
It
deals
was
with,
looking
like,
like
unaliving people, but they have a
it was
quota
looking
every month.
like gang initiation to me.
And
That was
to,
five people.
to me,
Five
that cops
people.
have a quota every month speaks volumes.
What? Well, yeah, not to beat ass, but to give tickets.
Because people can't just be good one month.
Huh?
People can't just be good one month.
No, it don't work like
I
that.
mean, like, why is there a quota of arrest every month? That doesn't make sense to me.
Well, I don't. Is there a quota of arrest, or I know that there's quota for tickets, like citation.
Tickets, arrests, whatever it is. Why is there a quota for that? Like, everybody's not breaking the law every day.
Yeah, well,
Isn't
there's
that what y'all are there for? So people don't do that.
yeah.
So if you are patrolling your area the right way, then you not having tickets should be the quota, not giving out tickets.
For me, they give out tickets to the people who just drive and who go to work and go home. But it's the people, the real criminals that are out there. Okay, so when I was back in Ohio, went to Ohio a couple of years ago, and I stayed there for a year. Then I ran my ass back to Texas here because I couldn't do it anymore. Right in front of my grandfather's house where my aunt ended up staying. She stayed there with her daughter. Her daughter's boyfriend was shot in the vehicle. They couldn't find the killer because they believe he was on foot. He was out there smoking in his car. They came up, shot him in the stomach, robbed him, kept it moving.
Who did?
We don't know. Don't know.
Oh.
And that was just very scary because it was just too close to home. I had just recently, met him. And then, but to come to find out, he and other people, like, they were like running around shooting, like, this generation in Cleveland. These kids are just shooting.
Well, Cleveland is the hood.
Yeah, but they're shooting like when I grew up, and I go down to the flats or different parts of Cleveland because my grandfather stayed in Cleveland. But nobody in our generation was doing stuff like that. That was a every now and then type of deal. Now
What generation
like
are you in?
almost like GTA.
Wait, what generation
I'm
are you
turning
in?
3 on the 6th, so I'm Generation X. I'm right at the end of X. I'm a zillennial.
What year is that? What year is that?
1980.
No, that's not true then.
What? They weren't just running around shooting like this.
I don't know if that was running off shooting, but Cleveland was the hood because
Cleveland is the hood.
We're probably around the same age.
Yeah. Okay, but Cleveland is the hood, but there were still some decent parts of Cleveland.
I never heard about them places.
Okay, so my grandfather stayed on 110th and Union. That was always a very decent place, right around Nathan Hill near Martin Luther King Street. Good street, decent school. That street was probably the only street left that was halfway decent, and it ain't decent anymore.
Okay.
But there was some decent streets in Cleveland, and now it's just like it's randomness, and there's so many like abandoned homes too that I think that's creating a lot of criminality there too. But these kids are running around shooting like it's GTA just for fun.
You know, I watched this thing on YouTube where they were talking about like gentrification in neighborhoods, and they were saying like some random white man like buys all the properties in that community and lets it sit, and then it depreciates, and then the city buys it back from them. So then white people move in.
Yeah, and they were trying that because the property in Cleveland is so cheap. They actually started building. I don't know. You might have been there when this happened. $1 million homes on Wade Park. Remember?
I didn't go to Cleveland very much.
Okay,
I was in Columbus and Dayton a lot because I went to school in Dayton.
School there.
And Cincinnati because my ex-girlfriend lived there.
Okay. Well, they had they started building $1 million homes, but nobody wanted to go there. But everybody's moving more closer to the downtown area because of the lofts and all of that, and the warehouse district and all those places. But
Jacques said I used to own a home on 103rd
and Union. Yes. See, okay, was 103rd a decent street? Because 110th was. But my father used to live around the block on 108th, and that wasn't the best street. It was like right down, like down the street and around the block. But yeah, so your old stomping ground.
How's the person said, I live, but I see the chat. I'm live, but I see the chat. Are you alive? I know you're alive. Jacques, wherever God wants me to be. I didn't know you were live.
It's House of the Princess. Hey, girl.
Yes, my friend. Make sure you subscribe to her channel. Yeah.
I'm subscribed to her channel. Yeah, I like to you all. I subscribe. I think to you all when you separated from All About the Tea.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but when y'all came in, that was like my favorite portion of it. I was like, yes, please get some people in here with some real opinions.
He was late.
I was always happy you came. Okay, somebody about to come with the truth sword up in here. Okay.
I came in hot with basketball wise stuff. But...
Oh yes. Oh yes. But see, to me, that's when it was fun too, because those shows had a lot going on at that time. So it was fun.
I'm actually waiting on something very, very big for my channel right now, but from basketball wise, but I'm waiting on confirmation of it.
Okay, well, don't say nothing until it happens.
I'm not. I ain't gonna say anything about it, but something's on the way. I'll say that.
See, Jackie said back in 2010, 103rd was still decent, but not now, right? And that's probably when it's the last. Oh, you live in Euclid now? Yeah, Euclid. Some areas like there, I like it, but it can also be hit and miss. I like it by the water.
The last time I went to Euclid, it was so windy. I thought it was going to blow into the damn area.
Yeah, it is super windy up there by the lake, but it's so nice too. Yeah. But I don't know. I just hope
I like to go fishing in Lake Erie though.
Do you?
I love fishing in Lake Erie.
The water's so dirty.
But the fish in Lake Erie are not. Depending on where you go fishing at.
Did it come out with 3 eyes like on The Simpsons?
No.
No. Just
Well, I'm talking about when I was. This is not like now, but back in the day,
yeah,
like growing up with my dad.
it's always been dirty. You know, they called it the mistake on the lake.
I never knew that.
It's because Lake Erie caught fire like in 1914. I don't know. It was a long time ago.
I never knew that they called it that.
Yeah, because it's dirty.
Did you ever go to Buckeye Lake?
Mm-mm. Well, I might have when I was younger. I don't know. We went a lot of different places. I ran out of Cleveland as soon as I had an opportunity.
I ran out of Columbus when I got an opportunity, so I understand. But I moved like 4 times before I actually got out. So
yeah. Well, I lived a lot of different places in Texas, and then I decided I live actually now near the border. So I'm in Harlingen. I border Mexico, and so I get to see all the happenings down here by the border. And I live like 30 minutes from South Padre Island. So it's another like spring break destination area. Beautiful water. And
yeah, I love living in Atlanta. Clearly because this is my 3rd time living here. And I ran multiple times, but I keep coming back here. So I was like, just stay in Atlanta. I'm staying.
Yeah, I wanted to move to Atlanta long ago, but I wasn't really sure if that's where I wanted to be.
The thing is, I never want to live here.
Where did you want to live?
I never did. My ex-husband went to live here, so we moved here.
Well, where did you want to live?
We lived here, the first time we moved here, it was because of him. The last time when we got here, I was like, we're going to break up when we get back. And then like 6 months later, we broke up.
Oh, man. Well, where did you want to go?
When we moved back from Atlanta the first time, we moved to Maryland. That's where I want to live. And if it was so expensive, I would be living there to this day.
Yeah.
And if I wasn't married, I would still stay there.
Probably there. I don't know about Maryland. I tried to move to Virginia, but my husband wasn't having.
It's the DMV.
He's from Texas, and when you marry a person from Texas, they never want to leave Texas. It's all about Texas.
The DMV is DC, Maryland, and Virginia.
Yeah.
Either one, all 3 of them. I would have moved to either one of them.
Yep, and I was ready to. I tried to go there, but we didn't. We ended up in El Paso.
Oh, okay.
It was okay, but I felt like I was trapped in between mountains. I was like, I feel like I'm in a rut. I'm surrounded.
After we broke up, I actually thought I was moving to Texas, and then I was like,
What part?
I was going to go to Houston.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I looked for houses there too, but it was too expensive for my liking.
I thought they said houses in Houston was cheap.
Cheaper. Okay, but see, the thing is that when I first came to Texas, it was in 2007. So I could get a boatload of land at that time for cheap, which I thought about doing, but I wasn't really sure we would end up because he had stayed in the military. So we went to Germany, went to El Paso, and then we came back. Well, that land that now was like maybe $5,000 is now $25,000. I said, this is crazy. Still around a good price, but it's crazy. They had started building homes right when we left. So that was like, when we came back, that was like still phase 1. And then they went into phase 2. So phase 1 was the homes in the 100,000s. Phase 2 was the homes in the 200,000s. Phase 3 was 250 and above. And by the time you got to phase 3, you might have been on a half an acre, but your house was extremely small. It didn't seem like a half an acre. And I said, well, why would I pay
$2? You could build on it though, right?
Yeah, but it's like, it wasn't, the homes were cheaper. They were cheaply built. You're paying for these things, for countertops and granite and all that. That's not all that great. And you're paying for that 30 years in a home where you can get it done cheaper and pay less, So I said, well, why would I stay here for half an acre when I can move further down south? Because we went to Houston and we went all to Dallas and all these places. I said, I can move further down south and get more than a half an acre and have a larger home and somewhat older, but still much nicely built home than these cookie cutter houses.
Now, let me ask you a question about this. Since we're talking about this, let's go here.
Yep.
Why do you need all that space?
Because when I grew up in Ohio as a little girl, my, listen, I'm 5'3", okay? I've always been a buck 05 pounds, right? Except for now, I weigh more. I have 2 kids. And I when we would go traveling to Chicago to see family, traveling in Mississippi, because I was so little and so tiny, they would always give me the tiniest spots. My home and my mother's house was so doggone small. My room was. It was the coldest in the winter, hottest in the summer. Couldn't take it. I hated it. She bought me a ton of clothes. I had nowhere to put it, and she's like, "Clean your room. Why won't you clean your room?" I'm like, "Where am I supposed to put all these clothes?" Like, there's nowhere for me to put this stuff. And once I just became claustrophobic. And then I was in the military. I'm an only child. I'm living on top of people, and they're getting on my nerves. So once I became able-bodied and could afford it myself, I said, I'm getting up out of here. I'm getting space. I got fruit trees in my backyard. I got a whole garden
What
going.
kind of fruit trees you have?
We have avocado, we have pears, we have peaches, we have, I got bananas, I got
Wow.
peach trees, I got everything, okay? I got pomegranates. This is
Oh,
stuff that I've
well,
always...
I can't argue with you on this because I would do the same damn thing, to be honest. So
See?
kudos to you. If you was like, I just want a big backyard, I'd be like, no. But all this, okay, yes, okay, I understand why.
Oh no, we party back there. We got the gazebo, we got a garden, we about to get some chickens, everything that I ever wanted.
What is some chickens?
Yep, everything. So we can have some free eggs because it costs too much.
I mean, yeah, that's when I grew up, my grandmother, she had an apple tree and she had a grapevine.
I got a grapevine and I got
and then she grew all her vegetables in the backyard. So
Yep.
I grew up not, but it still drives me nuts that I have to buy like vegetables to this day.
Well, do you live in an apartment or a house now?
I live in a house right now, but before
Okay.
yeah.
Well, you live in Atlanta, right? So you can grow some vegetables outside. That's what I recommend.
No, I know I can now, but I'm just saying before now, like I didn't think that I could because I'm used to like going in the backyard, picking apples and getting grapes and like peppers and whatever vegetables, onions, cabbage, lettuce, watermelon. Like we had all that in the backyard. Cucumbers, it was all in the backyard. Like just go get it, you know. So it's interesting that other people even did that because I've never heard anybody say that.
Exactly. Well, that's what I've always wanted as a child. And my grandfather, because my great grandmother lived on a farm in Mississippi, and my grandfather, he was on a farm too, and he used to grow veggies and all that. And my mom like, no, don't do that, don't do that. You don't want that. You don't want... I was like, oh, girl, I can't wait to get away from you because I'm gonna have everything, and it's gonna be so cheap to live for me. and that's what I did too. But
people should learn, to do that because. Again, with stuff being, I'm happy about you saying like chickens. I don't want those chickens because I want to take care of them.
Right.
They'd be cooked before they even got grown. But just vegetable wise, like it's such an amazing thing to do. Like to just when I grew up, my mom's mother was a gardener and my dad's mom was a gardener. So we grew up learning how to garden, and my dad's mom, she made me, my sister, our own garden. And so we used to grow cucumbers every year. We had the biggest cucumbers ever. I hate cucumbers, but I never ate any of them. But we grew the biggest ones, and then I would plant watermelon in her garden. That's the part I love the most.
Yeah, the gardening is the best thing, and that's the reason why I wanted to move down south, and that's what I would have been in Atlanta too. So I would have been gardening and having fruit trees and all that because it offsets the price. Going to the grocery store where you can just get the meat and pasta or things of that nature or whatever you need. And I feel like, well, as Black people, we need to get back to that. So going back to the police thing, if we can get
way off track
neighborhood, but I'm gonna transition. But it was good because if we can get our neighborhoods back to where they were,
Yeah.
And where people are gardening, where we are taking care of the neighborhoods, where we do have businesses within those neighborhoods and we are patronizing them, then it would be different. I think policing would be different because you see that in the Asian community, because they're not going to let you come in their community and just beat their people or just do whatever, and that's something that we need. And what we tend to do is it's like we can't get along so much that we just kind of want to run away from each other, where you need each other. You cannot get away from each other. You have to learn how to work and get along. But I don't know, but I just feel like these type of things wouldn't happen because these people would be reprimanded. And if you look in Africa, you do have people who have police brutality, but I don't ever feel like, maybe I haven't seen it, that it's on the same scale as it is here in America.
I've never seen it either, so maybe we need to see the YouTube videos of that, but I've never seen it on the same scale.
Mm-hmm.
But we also have different races against us too here in America. So
yes, and that is more reason to figure out a way to get along, come together, get money, and get your neighborhoods up.
I feel like I don't want to get along. Just treat me like I'm a human and not nothing else.
Respectful of one another.
Yeah. I don't want to be a get along guy. I don't want that. I want, if you want to do it to your white friend, don't do it to me.
Yeah.
If you want to arrest the white man for this, then don't do it to me. If you want to kill the white man for shoplifting, then don't kill me as a black man for shoplifting. Like, that's what I want. I want justice
when they see
equality.
When I moved from home, because my mom worked at the post office, so a lot of people know her, and she knew a lot of people because she moved from station to station and all of that. So you get to know a lot of Black people in Cleveland, and then subsequently I knew them because of her, and her friends too, because they worked at the post office. When I moved away from home, I remember this one guy. It's like, oh, are you from the Caribbean? Because those Caribbean people, those Black people, you got a knife, you're gonna kill me, you're gonna do. And I was like, huh? I was like, what are you talking about? And he's like, well, you know how you Caribbean people are, because he othered me and he thought she can't be Black, she must be a different type of Black or something. I was like, is he okay? I'm like, dude, I'm from Ohio. And he did that, and I was just like, these people are crazy. And it was only then that I started to see how people saw me. See, I was used to people knowing me and who I am, upstanding, outstanding, very honest, wouldn't lie, that type of deal. And then when I got out, reality struck. I was nothing but another Black person. And then they thought I was from the hood, and I was fast or get pregnant, whatever. Yes. And that's when I was like, oh my God, is this what, like, people just think of other Black people? Do they just look at other Black people and like, you're fast, like you're a hoe, you're, like, what? Like,
that is how it happens, though.
Yeah. But that's when I learned that. And I was like, and you know what? We can't even get along. We're just over here just calling each other names. Like, this is crazy. You don't even know me. Like, I didn't even grow up like that, but that's okay. But okay, that was crazy. You got a lot of gardeners, and you might want to start a gardening channel.
Well, I'm probably going to do it on my vlog channel, starting in the spring. But I'm glad that I said it, because now I know people are interested in it.
Yeah.
But I'll be throwing out gems or whatever, because I'm doing a lot of stuff this year. This year is my year of, I want to make 40K from both my channels, like 20 on this one and 20 on the other one. So
you can do it. Do you know other bloggers out there? I don't throw like names out or whatever.
Well, I do, but I think that the thing is that, for my subscribers, like, one, on this channel, like, I've been going live as much, so I'm getting back into the algorithm. But the main thing is just like, watch the commercials, y'all.
Yeah.
You don't have to super chat, Cash App, just watch the commercials, like all of them, watch them all. And then that gets us money if you can't do any of that stuff. If not, memberships and super chats makes a difference. But to me, just watch the commercials, to be honest. I'm okay with that.
Okay, so watch the commercials right when before you go live and in between your shows when they come on. That helps.
I think you have to watch for like 60 seconds, and then you can like go back to the video. But unless you like have a YouTube Prime channel, I think is what it's called, then
Uh-huh.
they automatically give you money because somebody watched your channel.
Oh, okay. Oh, I didn't know that. That's pretty good to know. Now, if you watch, um, I'm still thinking about that YouTube Prime. I had no idea that that was a thing that
What?
that paid like that. If
Wait,
if
what did you say?
if they send, can they send a super thanks to you while you're not on?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay, okay, that's good to know. I didn't know that. So
yeah.
they,
Even like
if they're
because a
watching
lot
the
of
old
us,
video of you, they can say, "Hey, let me send them a super thanks."
I think well, we always post on like our cash apps or something like that, so you can do that. I don't know how that works with like you're watching the old video.
Oh, okay. But on a new video, of course, and then of course on a live, you can do.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah, I feel like you can probably do it. Send-
it's
But
very
that
weird for me. It's very weird for me because it's like the days I get super chats, like it'd be like everybody give a super chats, but then it's like during the month, it's like no one gives them. So it just be weird because I'm like I hate to ask for them, so I just be like, y'all can give them whatever, and then like it'd be like a day like everyone gives them, then like throughout the whole month is like I'm just doing content. So
I sometimes feel like it's the momentum.
yeah, maybe
So
that.
when it's a lot happening, I notice like when I bounce in and out of rooms, it's like there's a momentum going. It's a lot happening, and people want to speak and say their thing. They tend to super chat too.
Yeah. Like this video, I know it's gonna get a lot of traction because of the footage that I showed. But right now,
Mhm.
it's just like 15 people here. Tomorrow, because it's so late, so tomorrow, like people will pick up on it. So I know
Mhm.
I'll get like a lot of views on it. But
Okay.
if it's not live, people don't typically give like to the channel if it's not there or not on the live.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. But if they are live, then that's when you find.
Yeah, because if you like read their question or something like that, that's why a lot of YouTubers don't read everybody's question because if you give a super chat, then they'll read it. And I don't want to be that YouTuber, I guess. So I just read everybody's comments. Like if you post something, I'm gonna read it. But a lot of YouTubers like they start reading the comments because unless you super chat them, then they'll read it so that you actually super chat them. Because this is a job.
Yeah, for sure. That's a lot of time out of your life
Yeah.
to dedicate to that. And for us
Like
as
I went live 3 times
a
today.
yes, and I think I've watched all three
Yeah.
because I'm scouring YouTube for some of my favorite folks to see if you guys are on and what you're doing too. But that's good to know that and the people should know that you guys work hard because it's a lot. Now
Do you have a channel?
I have a YouTube channel. And mine is more so, I actually have one for home gardening
Mhm.
and I have one.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, but I'm not active on that until give me about a month when I start.
Okay, I was say do I have a mind in the chat? But
But
okay, yes.
I am active on, it's called A Girl and a Pot.
Okay.
And what I do is basically just like, cook like family friendly meals. And right now I'm doing like smoothies and juices and all of that. And I've have had to I'm editing the videos like while I'm at work, and I'm like, this is another job. This is
Yeah,
a
it
lot.
is.
And you
Yeah.
guys jumping on 2, 3 times a day, updating, telling the news, doing videos, editing. I'm like, oh my God, kudos to them. Because this is a really a job. And you're giving us something to watch. So I really appreciate that.
I just started doing pre-recorded videos because I work like my job is like taking over my life right now. So I haven't like today. The fact that I went live 3 times a day is amazing because
Mhm.
I haven't done it in a very long time. But I've been putting out pre-recorded videos because I'm trying to figure out the algorithm and how these things work on YouTube. Because it's like if you don't do, I mean, one, I think doing it live it's hard, and like just you can get more money from doing pre-recorded videos versus doing the live video. Like I've been on for what 2 hours now. No one's giving me a super chat, nothing like that. But if I would have did a 2 hour pre-recorded video and added ads into it, then I would make money from that.
Oh, wow.
You know what I'm saying? So that makes a difference. So it's just
Well,
like
what about on the replay?
the replay. I can go back and do it, but most people before right now, I'm not in the algorithm, so it doesn't make it probably afterwards that could work. But what happens is that when you do a live, YouTube, once you get like to a certain amount of views, they limit your monetization. Then they have to prove whether or not you can monetize the video. So you still don't really make the money from it because you have to wait for them to approve it. So after people have already watched it, you barely make money from it.
Can you do a pre-recorded live?
I can do a members only live, but that means that people have to pay for my membership.
Oh.
And then post it on my channel after that live so people can see it. But it still just costs money basically for you to acknowledge that you are like a YouTuber. And you have to have like the hottest tea. And like I go to work every day. Like I can't when Beyonce drop an album be at 8 o'clock in the morning, I'm on my way to work. I can't come on to YouTube like, yo, fuck work. I gotta Beyonce dropped the album. Like I have to go to work. So
right.
You gotta want to be those YouTubers who can catch the tea when it happens, you know.
Okay, so see what we all be doing. We be at work like on Instagram and watching videos and stuff, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, I wonder if Debonair is going to talk about this. So we're going to conjugate whenever he's ready, and then I'm going to be there in the chat ready to give my opinion. Okay.
Yeah. And the thing is, people, because they were saying that the other day when I was talking about this, I was like, once the news is old, like I don't want to do it. And they're like, well, we want to hear your opinion. I'm like, yeah, but that doesn't make me any money though. And not that I'm like, it's all about money, but this is work. Like I want to make some money. And it's like, if I do a live, like give me at least one super chat or something like that. But it just never happens a lot of times. And I'm like, it's like, you don't want to be like, can you please give me a super chat? I don't want to beg for it or whatever. But you also want to be like, I mean, can y'all give me one? Like I'm working my ass off here. You know what I'm saying?
True. I think sometimes people just don't really think about that. And then
they don't even think about liking the video or commenting. Like there's so many things you could do as a subscriber to support the content creator that you're watching. The money part is not even the biggest part because as long as you're liking and commenting in the comment section, not in the chat, but the comment section, it creates money for you because they put you in the algorithm more.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So that's why we always be like, like the video and comment, because if people do that, they're going to
put other people, potential people who want to watch it, which then brings you more viewers and help you get more.
YouTube's going to put you in the algorithm of that story or whatever that you're doing.
Right.
Which means it's not like people that are watching it live don't have to do it, but it helps us as the content creator because YouTube is posting it.
Okay. Well, now we know we should always like and comment and subscribe as asked to do, and send a super chat.
I mean, if you can, I don't really press super chats, but I mean, if you can, send one. If you can't, don't worry about it. But at least like and comment in the comment section.
Yeah.
That's my biggest thing. Like and comment.
If you can't super chat, maybe watch the videos, but definitely super chat when you can, right?
And watch the commercials.
Yes, watch the commercial.
It's free for you to watch the commercials. You don't have super chat, just watch the commercials.
Yeah, well, again, before I go, I appreciate you for all that you do and doing this. You and a few other people help me get through my day sometimes because I'll be cracking up at people's comments. I love it. I shouldn't say that, but I really love it when y'all be dragging folks. It's my little guilty pleasure to come and join in and get a good dragging on. and get through work. So it helps a lot. And then we all end the day laughing and all of that. So in good
Are you
spirits.
subscribed to my vlog channel?
You're which one?
My vlog channel?
I don't know. Maybe not.
Yeah, look at my community tab because I do story times on my vlog channel.
Uh-huh.
So you have lots to listen to over there as well.
Okay. What kind of story time is this? Is this like relationships?
Relationship. I talk about my dating life.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've been doing like a story time about my sneaky link. My very first one.
It ain't like Funky Dynevas, is it? When he's all on Fox Soul talking about
no.
his potato salad. I don't know what the coleslaw, all that stuff that was going on there.
I haven't gotten that far yet.
Okay.
No.
That was like, for me, that was like R. Kelly's In the Closet. I was like, wait a minute, what?
Oh, and I want to thank everybody because I have 1,400 subscribers today on my vlog channel.
Oh, snap.
Yes. It's been like going back and forth from like 1,300 and like 94.
Mm-hmm.
But I hit 1,400 today. So congratulations to everybody. I mean, well, thank you to everybody who subscribed.
Excellent.
Yes.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, and thank you, Jacquez, for my super chat or my super sticker. See? It's only $5.99, you know. That's all it is. I'm actually about to start doing stuff for my members too, as well, because I have a lot more time now, and the summertime about to come up for. I'm a school teacher, so I'm gonna be doing a lot more stuff on my YouTube channel once school is over. So,
yay! That's gonna be exciting.
my members will get a lot.
I think I have talked your ear off enough.
You know what? I appreciate you a lot, and I'm glad you came up here because I enjoyed it.
Yeah, same here.
Well, I will more often.
Okay, I'll be in the chat until then.
All right. And y'all, I'm about to end this live. Thank you once again for coming up here and joining me. Everyone who did, y'all share this video because I think that it was very important to talk about our justice system for real. With that being said, y'all, your boy's tired and I'm about to go to bed. I love y'all, but I gotta go. So I will see you guys tomorrow. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'll talk about tomorrow. Yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow. I love you guys, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye, y'all.
Did it, I 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 did it, did it, you did it, I did it, you did it, did it, I did it, I did it, I did it, did it, I did it, I did it, I did it, I did it.